Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another Friday Live. I'm on the fen, getting a bit dark. You still hear a few birds singing, which after a very busy long week, nice to hear, get out, get some fresh air. It's ever so mild this evening. I know people like a weather report. Us British do like a weather report, don't we? If it's warm, if it's raining, if it's hot, if it's cold. Oh dear, yes, if you've just tuned in, what I want to talk about this evening is something that's come up quite a bit over the last couple of months and also over the last few years. It's about people who are running a business and been going successfully for many years, and then all of a sudden perhaps the bills to HMRC have started to creep up, struggling to make that loan repayment, stretching those payment terms with suppliers, cash flow is getting a bit tight, and sometimes it can be a downturn in trading, which the business owners generally are trying to work hard to bring in more work and to grow the business back. Sometimes it could be a bad debt. You've done a big job for somebody, and the invoice, you've put a lot of effort, maybe labour, materials, and then they don't pay. And it leaves a massive hole in your cash flow. Sometimes you might have had an unexpected legal bill. Something might have happened where something's gone wrong and you've had to pay legal costs. And sometimes those can rack up very quickly. And you find yourself insolvent. The business is struggling to meet its payments on a day-to-day basis. And at that point, that's where you need to seek advice from an insolvency practitioner. And it sounds a horrible word, insolvency, but actually it's the whole purpose of why limited companies are there. Ultimately, a limited company, it's its own entity, but it's not, you can't touch it, can you? You can't touch a company. Like any business, you can't really, it's intangible, isn't it? In particular, with a company, it's its own entity. So if a company runs into trouble and you've got big debts and you can't pay them, you can do a couple of things. You can apply to liquidate in your debts, as long as you've been not doing anything dodgy. Your debts will get written off. Or you could do a administration. You get the administrators in, they strip everything out, and then hopefully get things back to a point where the company can continue trading. Generally, administration basically means that directs the company hand over to control of the company to people like myself, accountants, who will look at things purely on the bare numbers, and they'll work hopefully generally with the existing directors, owners of the business to turn it around. Sometimes they can't. You might have a pre-pack administration where a company goes into administration, another company will then purchase the trade and assets, and people sometimes call that phoenixing. But yeah, generally most people who go bust don't mean to go bust. And if you're finding yourself struggling with your business and debts, like I say, debts are racking up, you can't pay things on time, maybe the wages get paid late, you really should seek advice from an insolvency practitioner. Get that documented, minuted, so it sort of covers you basically, so should you get further down the line. I mean, I'm not an insolvency practitioner, this is just a very general overview. There are a number of people we know, because we've had a few clients that have gone through this process. Some to great success. They've rebuilt their businesses after maybe a sort of 6 to 12 months of difficult period. Once you're through that initial period, you've then got a nice clean slate to work from. So I just wanted to talk about that and highlight that, because it's been a topic of conversation, like I say, over the last couple of months with a few people. So yeah, that is this week's Friday Live. Just going to carry on with the walk you can't really tell from this video, I don't think, but it is almost dark. I think the screen is lighting me up a bit. I've got Poppy and Freddie with me again this week. They're running away. And yeah, get home and a bit of shepherd's pie for tea, which I planned out, and it's bloody mild, so it feels like a barbecue rather than a shepherd's pie evening. But never mind, go home and enjoy that. And yeah, hopefully a bit of a weekend off to catch up on, you know, those sort of jobs you need to do, mow the grass, tidy the garden, maybe a little bit of decorating. And actually I've got a filer, friends helping file his accounts, so we'll go and sort that tomorrow. Everything was ready back in February. Needed 2 bits of information. He knows who he is. I don't know if he even watches this, but you never know. Anyway, I hope you all have a great weekend. And I'll be back next week for some more Ben on the Fen. Take care, everyone. Bye.